Now, 4 British soldiers killed in the Korean War have finally been identified more than 7 decades after the conflict ended.
They'd been buried in unmarked graves at Korea's UN cemetery. It took researchers 6 years to correctly identify the soldiers, and some of their children, now in their 70s, have attended a ceremony to rename their graves. Our Seoul correspondent, Jean Mackenzie, was there.
A lifetime of not knowing how his father died is over. An unmarked grave now bears his name. Michael's father was killed fighting in the Korean War, but his body has only just been identified.
What was it like to receive that news?
The emotional release was just, well, I can't describe it. I just wailed like a banshee for about 20 minutes. I'm so ill, I don't have a lot of time left myself. I had written it all off. I thought, what a waste of a life. We'll never find anything out about him. We have no remains.
At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them.
Here at the UN cemetery in South Korea, this ceremony honours 4 British soldiers whose whereabouts were previously unknown. All killed in battle. It was thought their bodies were lost for good. Another of them was Tabby's father, Major Patrick Angier.
The last embrace and the hesitant goodbye were different.
This poem, written by her mother after his death.
When I was a child, in those days, in the 50s, people didn't talk about anything to do with wars, and I didn't know. I knew he'd gone, but people in the village used to say, oh, those poor children, they've lost their father. So I used to think, if he's lost, they're going to find him.
Tabby and Michael's fathers were in the Gloucester Regiment.
The British 29th Brigade was digging in to the north of Seoul.
They famously fought in the Battle of Imjin River, holding back the Chinese army for just long enough so the Allied troops could regroup and defend Seoul.
It's fantastic to actually see the grave finally has a name on it.
The painstaking work to identify these soldiers was done by Nicola Nash. She pieced together the puzzles using burial reports, letters and eyewitness accounts.
It feels like this has been quite an emotional day, an emotional moment for you as well.
The children have spent their whole lives not knowing what happened to their fathers, and for me to be able to, do this work and then bring them here to Korea to actually come to the grave and say their goodbyes and have that closure, it means everything.
Tabby has visited this cemetery twice before, trying to get as close to her father as she could, not knowing that all along he was here. Jean Mackenzie, BBC News, Busan.